So it's Anthony McGill against Zhou Yuelong in the last quarter-final of the day. Zhou Yuelong appearing in his third world ranking event quarter-final, looking to reach his first semi-final.
First frame, Zhou Yuelong to break.
He's going to break Anthony McGill in his 12th ranking event quarter-final. He's 4th this season, so just shows you how consistent he's been this season.
Yeah, I think Zhou Yuelong has been playing well this week, though. I think this is a difficult one to call for me. Good pace on the white. The break-off shot. Probably one or two more people coming in soon. They've gone out for some refreshments.
Well, Zhou Yuelong has beaten both Peter and Oliver Lyons, father and son, during this tournament. And McGill, of course, looking to bed himself into the top 16, is in that position just on the fringes at the moment, 16th, but obviously points that he can earn here will really help. And Mark Williams was just behind him. Obviously, he's going to stay behind him, having lost earlier on.
£6,500 difference between this place in the quarters and the semi. 6,500 points, of course, going on to the ranking list.
Yes, he wouldn't actually go up if he won the match, but because he won the tournament, 75,000, then he would rise up the list. So tough right now to get in that top 16.
Foul and miss.
Well, amazing that that's a miss, but obviously looking to just nudge the red, not play a push shot. It's been put back in.
Well, this could be heading for a rewrap. If it's touching ball, that would help. Nope. No referee for this one is Robert Zablocki. Now then, is that touching?
Touching ball.
It's touching the right hand red, so he can play back into bulk with the cue ball. Yeah, swing it around the angles. Behind the green on the back cushion would be ideal to cover this red on the right hand side. Oh, okay then.
Another cagey start then. Yes, because Zhou, as I said earlier, won the World Cup a couple of years ago for the China B team, remember, him and Yan Bingtao. And they did well again this year. They got to the semis, lost out to England, only just though 4-3 to Judd Trump and Barry Hawkins. Of course, the China A team this time pulled rank and won the thing. Ding Junhui and Liang Wenbo beat Trump and Hawkins in the final. Just underlines, as I said earlier, the strength and depth in Chinese snooker. We've already got Zhou Yupeng in the semis. Scotland, though, have had a fair few great players over the last 30 years, starting with Stephen Hendry. And Anthony McGill, the latest star from that part of the world.
John Higgins still plays some great stuff.
Yes, Higgins has been an important figure for McGill. He practiced with him when he was younger and obviously looked up to his achievements. Zhou still only 19. Made his Crucible debut last season, lost out to Ding in the first round. Well, he's taking plenty of time thinking this one through. Well, worth thinking about. He's played a pretty good shot, it would seem. His first quarter-final, Zhou, was at the Welsh Open last season. He had a bit of a nightmare there, lost 5-0 to Scott Donaldson. His second quarter-final was more recent at the China Championship, lost to Sean Murphy, 5-2. And Zhou, number 30 in the world, and of course, okay, we talk about the top 16 and the Masters and so on, but there's rewards as well for players a little bit lower down. The World Grand Prix is a 32-man tournament based on the one-year list, so there's an opportunity to get into that. The Players' Championship, 16-man event, again the one-year list. So these sort of tournaments coming later in the season are sort of dangling there for players doing well during the current campaign. And if you win this event, you get in the Champion of Champions if not, you're not already qualified. That's a good pot.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. When's the cut-off point for the Champions? Is it after the International or this one?
It's a good question. It's after the International Championship, which finishes the day before the Champion starts. So the organisers can't make the draw until the Sunday night, which is not ideal.
Well, private plane back home to the UK.
That's another good pot.
Yeah, and he's got the red above the black.
Yes, Trump, Bingham and McGill are already qualified. Well, McGill is on the cusp because he won the shootout. Anyway, that's to come in November. But right now, Zhou, a confident start. 2 good pots to get in.
Well, I can tell you, Anthony McGill, yes, favourite this evening, but he won't have it all his own way. This lad has been playing well this week. And with every match and every tournament, he's getting more confident in these surroundings.
$14. $21.
Well, it's obviously a bit tight past the blue here. He might have played on this one to the middle. Seems that there is enough room. Oh, well, it wriggled, but it went in. It surrendered. Yeah, there was plenty of room there. Now, cannon into the pack. Open 1 or 2 up. Well, that's not good. He could have dropped the black in for a red there, but
29.
Didn't really move anything.
Zhou Yuelong, 29.
Well, good 29 and a good safety. There was the cannon. He just caught that red too full. He wanted to skip off that one into the pack. white to the top cushion here again, behind the black. Well, I think that could be loose. He might have left one here. He wanted to hide the white on the other side of the reds.
One.
Well, that was a little bit careless from Anthony there. It could cost him the frame. We shall see. Still has one loose red after this one, but ideally he's playing on the blue because the pink is masking the pack a little bit. Play on the yellow and then get into the bunch. Well, he'll be playing on the single red here. The only reason I said play on the yellow is because whenever there's a gap with the reds, the back of the pink, that's the time to sort of exploit it.
12.
But he can get into the bunch from the black.
$13.
Got the fraction lower than intended here on the black, but it's okay. It's a good angle to get the cannon, but make sure of the pot. Nicely done. Yeah. Got a lot of action on the white there. Nice contact.
20. $21.
Well, you can just see the backspin react on the cloth, just killed it. Stone dead. And the things as well with these, the lighter balls and the faster cloths, the balls do split easier than they used to a few years ago.
26.
Yes, I'm not sure the old ivories would have would have split quite like that. All the super crystallites.
I played with a set of the old crystallites before the supers. There was a no wonder I used to bash them around a bit.
Yes, the balls these days are made out of a chemical compound, phenolic resin. For those of you who are interested, or for those of you who aren't interested.
Knowledge. Ooh. That sounds a little bit kicky. 58 the lead then. Still a little bit to do here, but there's another red available to the left corner from this black. Chose to go down for the bottom red.
40.
Oh, he's just left it a little bit awkward over the green. I thought he might have played on this bottom red near the pack here. Don't understand why he's gone all the way down there. And, well, mind you, this red is frame ball, but if it's fairly tight to the cushion, he could rattle this. Well, there you go. I've no idea why he played on that one. I think this one at the back of the pack was available.
Yeah, because there was scope for it to go wrong because the cue will have to travel. Whereas had he played for the red at the bottom of the cluster, they didn't have to travel anywhere near as far. Anyway, not killed the frame off, so outside chance for McGill.
Yeah, and there's not much wiggle room for Anthony here. Well, hang on. Well, he actually doesn't want that in. Well, in fact, he does actually, because it's going over the pocket.
One.
Well, there's two ways of looking at that. Now he needs snookers, but if it hung over the pocket, it was frame over.
64 in it, 59 on.
Anthony McGill, 1.
The wry smile, because he knows he might have just done the job for Zhou there, as regards winning the frame. Ooh.
Anthony McGill, 4.
Well, that's really poor, because that's a big target. Now, this is the red I mentioned before that Zhou, I thought, should have played on before going down for the other one. I don't understand now why he didn't play on this one from the black. This frame would have been over now, would have been into the second frame. And it was available.
1.
Well, this was the red going in, which meant that he wasn't on a colour and needed snookers, but he laid one and Zhou didn't hit one.
In fact, he didn't see it go in because he's walking away from it. Well, he's played to get on this red to the corner, but can he see the potting angle? He's got to be careful here. He might clip the other one on the way through. Well, I think he can pot that. I think his problem is the angle. If he comes back for the black, he might be running into it. So he chose to hold for the pink. He's got an angle to nudge them open. Still needs one more snooker.
15.
If this red goes, you'll take red and black and lay the snooker off the last red and just look where it is so you can get tied in behind the pink. So from Zhou being in a very, very strong position in this frame, he could still lose it.
$16.
Well, the cue ball is going to be welded behind the pink after this one. Well, I don't believe that. Well, he plays red in colour. Why is he playing that?
23.
Well, I'll tell you what, David, that really has surprised me because the red was in an ideal position to get it right in behind the cue ball behind the pink. Now he's got to go down the end of the table and play it off the yellow.
Well, we shall see whether that strategy works or not. He needs one snooker.
31.
Well, the thing you can do here is pop the yellow, not leave it there. He's just come off the green and try and get the white behind the black. I hope he hasn't miscounted here. I'm going for the clearance. Well, he can only sit and wait. I think he's trying to get the white back to get in behind the brown, which is a tougher shot to play than it would have been on the final red. Well, I suppose it's like darts players. They have different ways to check out, don't they?
.33.
Well, twice across here with the white behind the black. Wow, that's poor. That really is awful. I mean, course management there for Anthony was poor. The red behind the pink was nailed on. Or the white behind the pink, I should say. $27 at 25 at the table. Well, it's Zhou that's got the snooker, and the bonus is that he's pushed the brown to the cushion.
Well, he's been pretty ruthless all week, in fairness. Showing it again there.
Where's the cue ball? Oh, hang on. I mean, he shouldn't be going anywhere near a pocket with a white.
No, I mean, he's not so much closed the shop in this frame as kind of left the doors wide open, really. Still, McGill needs a snooker, though.
Foul.
Oh, well, that's amazing. That's just an incredible thing to happen. Brown's gone in at an incredible angle off the cushion. I don't think many would have predicted that. Fancy trying to play that, you'd be there all day long.
I'll tell you what, that would have been some plant with two reds. Yeah, just going to play a plant here to get in. Well, this frame is over now.
3.
Oh, hang on. Should have been.
Well, it's been so strange that you just don't know, do you? I mean, you know, a lot of snookers needed, but it's been a strange few minutes, really.
Well, I think there'll be a concession here if he hits this. I think he's had enough.
And the frame.
Yes, so after all that, Zhou Yuelong does win the opening frame of this quarter-final. 4 required to take on Stuart Bingham in tomorrow's semi-finals. Of course, there's already a Chinese player there. Yupeng will play Judd Trump in the first semi. We'll take a short break. We'll be back live in Belgium for frame 2. Robert Zablocki, the referee, setting them up for frame 2.
Yeah, I'll go back to that last red there for Anthony McGill, David. Very strange, really, because we were told when this came out, if you've got a red behind the black spot, you've got a red between the pink and the black, you need a snooker. Play it early. Put pressure onto your opponent. I just think that wasn't good course management from Anthony McGill. I mean, he's been around long enough to know the difference, and if he had just stunned off the top cushion with a cue ball, he was bound to get the white behind the pink. He made it much harder for himself later on in the frame. Anyway, it's gone.
Thank you, second frame.
Looking to hit back.
And Tony McGill to break.
That's not one of his best break-off shots either. A couple of tempters here. There's been 1 or 2 flies around in the auditorium this week. Like that sort of fly, like little midges. And setting himself for this right-hand red, I think. Well, played the cue ball well, but he hasn't got away with it.
Well, that's a great pot. I mean, that's not easy from where he was.
No. Definitely made it look easy.
And the danger, if he'd caught the knuckle, he could have left it on as well.
2 reds just high on the black there, which were available. If you can get on one of those correctly and get that red away from the black, that would be handy. He can still do that from this left-hand red, actually. If he cannons into the red and black, pushes the black over to the corner. It's just, he's just making the decision as to which way to go. Might come down this left-hand side. Well, that's not very good.
Yep.
I wanted to be much further to the left.
3.
Just got into the white too much. Blue's out of position, so he's going to have to go down for one of the baulk colours. I'm not sure if the pink is available to the right centre. I don't think so. It's not bad. It's got an angle on the brown here to play on these reds near the black spot. Well, I'm not quite sure what he's thinking here. The brown is perfect. Got to trust to luck, really, as regards these 2 reds that are available. In fact, might only be 1, but I think that's the right way to go. Well, I'm not sure what he's thinking, unless he's talking about going into the pack from the brown on the left-hand side there. Yeah, He's gone for the pack. That's fair enough. He's done well. I think there's one there. That was a great shot. Went aggressive.
8.
If anything, a little unlucky not to free pink and black, which still don't pot.
He could get himself onto the blue here, which brings a high value colour into play. Anything but straight.
9.
Looks a bit straight in the shake of the head, but let's have a look at this. I thought he might just swing it around the other side of the table, but he went for the pack. Well, he's straight on this blue, but anywhere near this side cushion is fine. This red is available. Well, I say near the side cushion. Don't tell me he's snookered himself
14.
on the diagonal. I think he's okay. Well played. He can play another cannon into the bunch here, get them open. Well, he's done well to keep this break going, but this could be a key shot coming up here. Possibly full ball on the pink would be handy. Well, again, he hasn't had the best of luck there. A crowd have applauded him because he's got the reds open, but he hasn't landed on an easy one. Amazing. Well, he's caught those beautifully. I mean, he's just driven that cue ball through the gap. He's got this one to the left corner, but it's hampered. Well done. He's okay. Yeah, nice recovery.
21.
Now we can concentrate on trying to win the frame at this visit.
One thing that's always linked all the Scottish players is a certain steeliness, a certain determination. He's practiced a lot with, as I say, Higgins, also Alan McManus, who's been a bit of a mentor to him. Imparted a few words of wisdom, I'm sure. In fact, Alan, I remember saying very clearly when McGill first qualified for the Crucible, he said he will win this World Championship one day. He said he got the right attitude and the game to do it. And Alan's not the sort to say that about anybody.
25.
He clearly believes it.
Another one that switched to the left hand. They're all at it. Now, I wonder if he'll take a risk here. He could play on the pink, which is the percentage, but he could nudge the red away from the black. He's got the angle off this red. Well, he's playing the percentage. Can't blame him.
$33.
Nicely done.
$39. $40. 46.
Well, he's got himself in a lovely position. It started with that great red to the middle, and a couple of key shots after that as well.
47. Fifty-three.
Oh dear.
Well, it wasn't an ideal angle. He had to
And
move the cue ball to get over for the pink, but unexpected. That's careless. I mean, a few balls away from winning the frame, and he knows it. I mean, that's basic.
Yes, he seemed to have done all the hard work in the frame. He got the balls open and negotiated things well up until that point.
And sometimes you can just get ahead of yourself, you know, thinking I've already won the frame, but you still have to put the points on the board. Oh, well, Zhou's missed that one. So a second chance then for Anthony.
Yeah, he was playing to free the black, which is fair enough. Maybe slightly, though, taking his eye off the pot. Anyway, he's missed it. So McGill straight back at the table. 53 to the good. Inspecting the damage. There was plenty of it to inspect from his point of view. Oh, he's caught the black.
Well, it was tight, but there was room there.
Well, it's all a bit tails of the unexpected here, isn't it? You know, great chance there. Just flick the black with the red.
Well, imagine if Zhou were to pinch this one. That could get interesting. That could play on Anthony's mind. And I think the red near the brown will go as well. Just check that.
8.
Really, it's only the red on the left-hand side. It's slightly awkward, but it's 5 or 6 inches off that cushion. It's very potable.
9.
And these are the frames that hurt. You know, if you're 50, 65, 70 points in the lead and you lose them, they hurt. And of course, then it gives a boost to your opponent. Still work to be done, though. Well, he's played cushion first there, and then pushed the red into the middle of the table,
16.
but just clipped it on the way through. This is still on, but it's not easy. Watch this. Yep, he's trying to get cushion first. Just need a little bit more action on the cue ball. Now then. Looks good to me. Well played.
17.
I say, I think the red near the brown will go. So apart from the red on the cushion, which he needs to negotiate, a great chance to steal. Well, that's got to tell you that that red didn't go. He's played on the red to the middle. Can lay the snooker though.
22. Zhou Yuelong 22.
Well, he'll settle for that. Well, these are moments that Anthony shouldn't have had, really, when he missed that fairly straight red to the corner. Should have been frame over. There's still the possibility that he might lose this second frame. Cannot believe he's played that. And not at that pace. All he has to do is push the red to the cushion. Push the boat out there.
One.
Well, I mean, if it hits the top cushion, it's not a problem, but it hit the side cushion. That's why I left it on. Well, that's another, for me, bad shot selection
4.
from Anthony. And that's finished just a little bit in between. Might need the extended spider. Well, if this goes past the blue into the corner, play into the corner pocket, then you won't be leaving the other one. It's not far away, you know. It's just about... Oh, I thought it was a bit wide.
Zhou Yuelong 4.
So McGill, as we see this miss again, is 27 in front as he comes back to the table with the red over the pocket.
Yeah, and the Scot might just get away with this.
One.
Just the yellow and the red needed for one apiece. Oh, what's he done here?
Wow, just needed to get on the red. Not glued to it.
Well, I know it's because of the refit, you know, the players are getting used to the pace, but there's not that much difference between when they put a new cloth on from the old one. Just caught it too well.
Yes, he's not actually touching, but just needed the red for frame. Well, this is
Anthony McGill 3.
kind of bad to worse for McGill.
Well, this is calamitous. Any colour off this red apart from the yellow. Oh.
1.
Well, he's gone too far on the blue, so he'll need to take the brown. He's underhit that. Could have done with a little bit more, a little bit of tension in the arm now then. Is he just going to drop this in dead weight?
You must wonder how he's still in the frame.
Yeah. There might be another twist here.
5.
No, if he goes around the angles, things can happen. Dead weight, he's got it. Well, it's got to be said, I think, David, that Anthony's made a rod for his own back here, in the back half of this frame. I mean, missed the fairly straight red, and some of the shots he's played since then have been awful. I don't like criticising a player, but I have to tell him he knows that. I mean, the yellow to the red
10.
was poor.
Yeah, he was in on 53, Mr. Red, then straight away had another chance. The red just brushed the black near the pocket. He just needed to get on the last red, was landed on it, and then the safety he played. Oh, he's overdone this though.
14.
Yes, and he's slightly the wrong angle here. He's going away from the pink, and he's going to have to leave the pink for more distance. Again, is there another twist?
19.
Well, he needs both pink and black. Here we go. He was trying to get the white into bulk, didn't hit it. Pink and black needed for 2-0.
Yeah, in a best of 7, this is big. It really is. McGill, I'm sure, can barely watch this. Must be so disappointed with what's happened in that frame. And Zhou Yuelong has made the clearance to steal it. That's incredible. I bet he can't believe he's won that frame. It's 2-0, and that feels like a big early moment in this match. And things just seem to go wrong every time he's at the table. And in the end, Zhou made a good clearance to win it. It's 2-0. These are the stats so far. Don't really tell the story because McGill's ahead on the pot success, but he's behind 2-0 in the match. The safety certainly favouring Zhou Yuelong. McGill's safety's got to improve. Long potting favouring McGill, but as I say, it's 2-0. That's the bottom line. And frame 3 becomes big. It's only best of 7. If Zhou wins this one as well, he's a heavy favourite to go through to the semi-finals tomorrow. Just waiting for Zhou to return for frame 3. McGill just been made to wait and made to ponder a few shots in that last frame. All went wrong when he missed that red on 53. That was a good break to then. He potted a great red to get in, a few key shots, opened up the reds and kept it going, but once he missed that, he was never quite the same in the frame.
Well, this is now just a little bit more harder work than they anticipated. Well, that's the red. I mean, you can't miss those. And this is the other one, he clipped the black. There was, I think, for me, just enough room. That's why he played it. And then this one. A comedy of errors, which he won't want to see again.
Well, I guess this is where temperament plays its part. He has to just focus on what's ahead of him and try and put it right in this frame as Zhou returns to the arena. Well, Zhou Yuelong stole that last frame, and here in the third looking to extend his lead to 3-0 and move to within 1 of his first ever ranking event semi-final.
nearly in behind the brown, but it's made the difference. There's a couple of reds on here. I think the right-hand one is favourite. He's got a gap for the cue ball, and he can get onto a bulk colour. Well, there you go. This young man now is full of confidence.
1.
That's no good. It's near the side cushion. If the
5.
black goes, you might be able to drop a red in here actually. But just keep everything still. Yeah, that's okay. Well played. Well, he's seen the mistakes that Anthony's made and basically gifted the second frame, and he's looking to push on. And why not?
Yes, he's seen his opponent really struggling. It's one of the Chinese players who plays at the Victoria Snooker Academy in Sheffield. It's a stone's throw from the Crucible. Not that we want anyone to throw any stones at the Crucible. Victoria there, she runs it, she keeps them all in check as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, don't mess with Victoria.
14.
Yeah, it's good though, because of course when Ding came over, he was on his own basically, but now there's a good contingent of Chinese players that can spend their time together. They don't get so homesick that way.
And 2 venues, practice venues. There's one at the Academy at Bramall Lane, and of course the one that David has just mentioned.
21.
All first-class conditions with star tables in. Spoil these lads today, David. They don't know they're born. But the old tables used to blow with the old crystallizer stuff. Damp conditions. I can feel a Monty Python sketch coming on.
Well, I think the thing with the non-British players, because there's so much pre-qualifying in the UK,
29.
you need to have a base somewhere. Neil Robertson found Cambridge, he settled there, and that made a big difference. You need to feel secure, you need to have a home. And it's not easy leaving your family and coming to the side of the world.
Not at all. A chosen career.
30.
We would all love our jobs to be on our own doorsteps, but in sport you can't do that. I mean, you can go back even further. Look at Cliff Thorburn, Bill Werbenek, Kurt Stevens. They had to spend time in the UK to get where they needed to be. Cliff bought a house in London. The travelling was getting him down a little bit. From Canada. Oh, that's nice. He's got the red to the left middle. Yes, as you say, you know, it is a sacrifice. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, the rewards are there.
This was shot into the cluster. You can take a real grip on this match here.
38.
I think if you're a single lad, it's a great time to be a snooker player. But of course, if you're married and got family, but those are the sacrifices you have to make to get to the top. But single leg and snooker today, travelling the world, earning great money. Nothing wrong with that.
44.
No, I think the only problem, and it's because there's so many tournaments, it's just logistics. You know, the guys are playing qualifying next week for the Shanghai Masters. The draw's not being made till Monday. They start Wednesday, so no one knows when they've got to go to qualify. And that's difficult if you're arranging, you know, your life around that and wondering when to book your hotel and so on. So that's just something that I think hopefully in years to come will be ironed out and made a bit easier for the players.
Well, they're quite the Barnsley then. It's Guildhall this time because they flip them, don't they? Oh, that's a great venue, still is. The home of the UK Championship for years and years.
mean, he's just come slightly the wrong side of the blue. Hence he's going in and out of bulk, he's got to avoid everything, which he's not done. So
57.
It's going to be a tougher pot than intended. It all started getting wrong side of the blue. That was the red, initial red. Needs another good one here. And he's potted another good one. What a great shot, and just underlining the confidence that Zhou Yuelong is feeling, and it's the way he was led off the hook in that previous frame. That's where it started. Made that nice little clearance to win it.
$65.
So a couple of balls away from 3-0.
$66.
Well, McGill being made to really think about that second frame. As I say, in his chair between frames, he would think, OK, let's focus on the next frame. He hasn't had a chance in this frame. He's just been sat watching.
73. $74.
He made his highest break of his career this season at the Indian Open, 141. Can't quite get to that amount here, but nonetheless, this is good stuff.
We've had 41 centuries this week here in Lamel so far in this European Masters.
$82. $89. $90.
Well, we're just seeing how good this young man really is here. Great talent. He won the World Amateur title
97.
when he was just 15 in 2013.
$98.
And this black for a century. Great stuff.
105.
I can't miss.
106.
Anthony McGill needed the last red in the previous frame, but the shot he played, he was basically stuck on it, couldn't pot it, and then the safety left a pot on. And it's all turned around. Could so easily have been one each, but Zhou now playing just brilliant stuff, and he's going to be 3-0 up with one more needed.
116. $120.
Well, Anthony McGill being put to the sword here.
25.
He's made his move in this match. A magnificent 138 total clearance from Zhou Yuelong to move within a frame of the final. That was a terrific break. He's taken full control and he leads Anthony McGill 3-0. with it all to do. Quite clearly, not just the scoreline, but just how well Zhou played in that third frame.
Yeah, and the second frame was a big knock to him. The third frame certainly was. I don't know. Can Anthony win from there? That's a tall ask. Because he's bang under it now, and he knows that Zhou's playing well, and one more mistake could be his last. But
Thank you. Fourth frame.
that second frame
McGill to break.
was massive. Is there any way at all that he can get himself back into this match?
Well, he has to improve, that's the bottom line, because Zhou's playing well, so he's got to produce that sort of snooker himself.
That's a bit loose again. He's offered up chances here. It's so important that you get that the break-off shot right. This might be an evening to forget for Anthony McGill. Oh, not missing. Full of confidence.
One.
Every credit. He's taken this to the Scot. You leave me one out, I'm going to knock it in. Well, he's only at 71%. Amazing. Anthony's at that high percentage, but 3-0 down. I'd like to see the POC success percentage, actually. And that would be quite important.
5.
95. I mean, Anthony's at 91. But that's great. I mean, anything beyond 92, 93% is... Anything above 90 is great, but anything beyond 92, 3 is unbelievable.
Yeah, well, since the chance came to clear up in frame 2, he's not missed a ball. He made that total clearance. He's in straight away here. Safety's favouring
13.
The teenager as well, 19-year-old Zhou Yuelong.
It's all in his favour. And the thing is, can he finish the job?
14.
Well, this young man must be feeling absolutely terrific because he's in what we call the zone. And there's nothing there but the 12x6 table and the balls.
$19. $20.
It doesn't even look like missing. I mean, he's got the angle here to come off the pack for the blue, split a few more of the reds. I think he's going through for the black, actually. Oh, well, that's fair enough. He's just chipped a couple of them out there. Gets in behind this one into the left corner. He opens up another one. Oh, he's playing well. Oof. This is great stuff.
$35. Yep.
I think both these reds go. Just having the cue ball clean to give himself some more thinking time. Well, look at that. 205 points without reply. And these.
$36.
Well, he could drop this in, or he could go into the bunch. Downward striking. I think he's going to split them. Oh. Well, the black wasn't in the middle of the pocket. And that's why he's glanced off the pack.
43.
And he'd be disappointed with that. Don't tell me there's one through the gap.
Well, what he mustn't do is hand McGill an easy chance, because that's what he's looking for at the moment, the Scot.
Do you know, I think there's one through the gap, Dave. Oh, that's incredible. Well, I'll tell you what, when it's going for you, it's going for you. What's the chances of landing on that one?
Still had to cue it well, and he did. And he's just cueing great at the minute, he really is. And McGill, well, wondering now, is he going to get back to the table?
A little bit low with the cue ball. Just got a little bit more to do here. Again, he might just clip off the pack. Always make sure of the pot, though. He's very close to a victory here. Well, he went full-blooded. He drove the cue ball through the reds. What about this? I'll tell you, this is very impressive. I mean, apart from the first couple of frames, which could have gone the other way, since then, this has been superb. Just don't get careless, young man, and you're into the semi-finals. I'll tell you what, playing like this, David, against Stuart Bingham in the best of 11, I'm not going to miss that one.
Well, he's such a confident character, and he's got every right to be the way he plays. And it's doing it, you know, on the big stage when it matters.
59.
Down to one table here. Well, we're a few weeks from Halloween, but that second frame was an absolute horror show for Anthony McGill. That's where it all turned round.
And since then, Zhou has turned it on.
He seized on the chance. That
64.
last red that he was left from the poor safety. He's not missed a ball since then.
65.
And he needs this ball, this blue, to put himself into his first ever world ranking event semi-final. What a moment for Zhou Yuelong. And every credit to him, because he has played superbly.
He has, and it's going to be 2 Englishmen
70.
and 2 Chinese in the semi-finals.
71.
A great weekend to look forward to. Well, he'll be feeling great inside, and he'll just say, well, bring it on. I don't care who we're playing now on this form.
78.
So can he finish with back-to-back centuries? Total clearances, possibly.
85. 86.
He's played Bingham twice. He beat him in the Champion of Champions 2015. Bingham won their previous meeting. So it's 1-1 on the head there between them.
93.
Yes, the crowd here are in for a fascinating weekend. That's for sure.
And I tell you what, as well, over the last couple of days,
94.
these boys, these stars of the Green Berets have really turned it on. The crowds have been fantastic. I'm sure the Shoreditch one is going to be full over the weekend as well.
Back-to-back centuries to finish for Zhou Yuelong. That's about as good a finish as you'll see to a match.
102.
1. Chinese snooker no longer looks just to Ding
109.
Junhui. There's a lot of players now from that part of the world capable of producing brilliant snookers we've seen here.
111. 112. 114.
McGill just needed to get on that red in frame 2. It would have been 1 each. But he didn't. He played a bad safety. Zhou cleared up. He made 138 next frame. And this is what he's done in the clinching frame.
129.
The black then for back-to-back total clearances. 136. What a finish. What a finish from Zhou Yuelong to reach his first semi-final. Gracious words from Anthony McGill. He must be so disappointed what happened in the second frame. He didn't get a chance after that. Barely got a shot, in fact. And Zhou Yuelong is into the semi-finals in very, very impressive fashion. He'll play Stuart Bingham on Saturday night. He's beaten Anthony McGill by 4 frames to 0.